Just leaving the hospital in Praia. Just had my first experience with the emergency room here. We're going to talk about that today on Our Unspoiled Italy. One of the questions we get a lot of is, what's the healthcare system like in Scalea? Well, we haven't had a lot of experience with that. The one place we have visited is the Red Door. The Red Door is the local clinic, and if you ask at the pharmacy where you can see a doctor, they will say the Red Door. It's located right off the piazza towards Uniero, and there's a red door. The sign on the door lists the hours, which are usually a few in the morning and a few in the evening, and it varies by the day. We've used it a couple of times for minor things like getting prescriptions refilled and that sort of thing. The other day I ended up with an infected foot. I had a blister on my toe that had ruptured and then got infected, and I was starting to worry about it. So we made a trip over to the Red Door, and they were closed till the next morning, and I was in enough pain that I said, we have to find an alternative to this. So there's a hospital building up above Scalea on the hill, and we thought, well, let's go up there and see what they've got. We heard it was open, but we didn't know what kind of services they had. Went up there, it was about 6 in the evening, and it was pretty deserted, but we went in and Irina found a doctor, and she said, there's no emergency services here, but we'll take a look at you. And they took me into one of the examining rooms, looked at the foot, said, yeah, it's really infected, doused me with a bunch of antiseptic, and said you should go to one of the hospitals. Now, there are 2 hospitals they recommended. One is in Belvedere, which is about a 20-minute drive, and we've heard a lot of good things about that. The other is in Praia, and it's much closer, so we said, well, we'll give that a try. So the next morning we arranged a ride up to the hospital in Praia. It's located in the hills right above town. From the highway there are signs that you can follow that get you there pretty well. The emergency room is located on the left side of the building as you approach it. We got up there and went in, and it was pretty quiet. There was really no one there, and we ended up having to ring the bell at reception, and a woman came out, had a look at me. We filled out a little bit of a form, and she went and got a doctor. And the doctor came out to assess whether I was in dire need of assistance or if it was something that could wait. They have a scale, and it's on the wall. It goes from white to red, and depending on your condition, that's where they put you in the queue to get helped. He looked at me and said, okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. I've got another patient, and he left us. During that time, only one other person came in, and she was about the same as me, so she sat with us, and we waited, and the doctor came back out, and since I don't speak Italian, Irina asked if she could come in and translate for me, and they said no. Only the patient is allowed in to the emergency room. We'll figure it out. And with my case, it was pretty easy. I just showed them my toe. It was pretty infected, and they had a look, said, yep, okay, we'll clean it out, checked me to make sure nothing else seemed bad really quick, bandaged me up, and then gave me a shot of antibiotics. The doctor then wrote up a prescription, told me to keep it clean, and if anything got worse, check back with them. So it was a pretty quick visit. Like I said, there was only one other person, and we had asked the woman that we were sitting in the waiting room with, is it always like this? And she said no. She says evening it's usually packed, And that's usually because people come in for a lot of these things, like I was in for, after work. So best thing, if you can, is come to the clinic in the morning. Also, that's the time that the radiologist is in. The radiologist only works till 2:30. That's what we were told before we went there. And if we needed something more serious, that would be the time to go. We didn't need it, so it didn't matter, but it got us out of there pretty quickly. The antibiotics are perfect. I'm now able to walk without a lot of pain, and I'm kind of glad that I've actually had this experience, because the scariest thing is what's it going to be like if I need to see a doctor here and I don't know anything about the healthcare system. Well, it wasn't that scary. They were very good. They were very helpful. And as we left, we asked about payment, and they said, nope, you're on your way. See you. Good luck. So, this is a pretty minor thing, but like I say, it's a good way to learn about the healthcare system here. If you do have something that's a lot more serious, there are emergency numbers you should learn. The medical emergency number in Italy is 118 on an Italian phone. Also, I'll put up the phone number for the local Guardia Medica, and that's the ambulance service that can come and get you. They will come and they will assess exactly where they think you need to be taken, whether it's to Praia, to Belvedere, to Cosenza, anything that you feel is serious, do that first. But for minor things, we have the Red Door here in Scalea, you have the emergency room in Praia, and it felt pretty good knowing that those are available and that I could be seen and taken care of for minor medical emergencies.